Hey, English learners! Welcome back to the Open Mind Studio. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex.
So, Alex, I want to talk about saying how you actually feel, out loud, in English. Because most of us walk around with about 4 words for it. Good, fine, tired, stressed. And then something big happens, you reach for the words, and there's just nothing there.
Nothing there. And it's a strange kind of lonely, isn't it? You can feel the thing perfectly clearly. It's right there in your chest, but it won't turn into sentences. So you say, I'm fine, and you go home still carrying it.
Still carrying it. And that's what today is about, because this is really 2 skills at once. There's the language part, having enough words to say what's actually true, and there's the brave part, letting somebody hear it. And we can build both.
And for English learners, this one matters especially, because feelings are usually the last thing we learn to say. You can order a coffee, book a hotel, talk about your job, and then someone asks how you really are, and all you've got is good and not bad. So today, we widen that.
And I need this one myself, because there was a stretch of my life where I said, I'm fine, for months. Not to hide anything, but because I genuinely could not find the words for what was going on. And then a friend said one sentence that unlocked the whole thing. But I'll tell you that story at the very end.
Okay, right. The first thing, and you can use it in your very next sentence. Upgrade fine.
Yes, because fine isn't really a feeling. Fine is a door you close. And here's the problem. When you only have big general words, you can only have big general conversations. The more precise your word is, the more the other person actually understands you.
It's like colors. If the only words you have are light and dark, you can never describe a sunset. But once you've got orange and pink and gold, you can show someone exactly what you saw. Feelings work the same way.
So let's trade a few. Instead of I'm stressed, try I'm overwhelmed. Instead of I'm sad, I'm disappointed or I feel a bit low. Instead of I'm angry, I'm frustrated or I'm hurt. And listen to how different those last 2 are. I'm angry and I'm hurt are 2 completely different conversations.
Completely different. One makes people defend themselves. The other makes people come closer. So, listener, quick one. Think of how you feel right now, and find a more precise word for it than fine or good. One better word changes the whole conversation.
Now, the second thing. And this is a little frame you can carry anywhere. I feel blank because blank.
Yes, beautifully simple, and it does an enormous amount of work. You name the feeling, then you name the reason. That's it. I feel nervous because I have to speak in the meeting tomorrow. I feel happy because I finally finished it.
And here's why this frame is so good. It isn't just easy English, it's safe English. Because you're talking about yourself, not accusing anybody. Look at the difference. You never listened to me. That's an attack, and their defenses go straight up. But I feel a bit ignored when I'm talking. That's just true, and it's about me.
And nobody can argue with your feeling. They can argue about what happened. They cannot argue about what you felt. So the frame keeps you honest and keeps the conversation calm. Instead of, you're always late and it's so rude, try, I feel frustrated when I'm waiting and I don't hear from you.
Same message, completely different temperature. So, listener, Take something on your mind and put it into the frame. I feel blank because blank. That one pattern will carry you through 100 difficult conversations.
Now, the third thing. And this is a lovely trick for when the word simply isn't there. Describe your body.
Ooh, yes, because sometimes you genuinely don't know what the feeling is. It hasn't got a name yet. That happens to everyone, in every language, and even more when you're speaking a second one. So you don't need the perfect emotion word. You just describe what it feels like physically.
And this is wonderfully easy English. Simple, concrete words you already have. My chest feels tight. I've got a knot in my stomach. I feel heavy today. Anyone hearing that understands you completely, often better than a fancy word would have managed.
And here's the strange gift in it. Describing your body often finds the word for you. You say, my chest feels tight. And a second later you go, oh, I think I'm anxious. The body knew first. It usually does. So, listener, notice what your body feels like right now and describe it in one simple sentence. You never need a perfect word, just an honest one.
Now, the fourth thing. And this one adds real precision. Say the size of the feeling.
Yes, because most people either say nothing at all or say something enormous. But feelings come in sizes, and English has lovely little words for measuring them. A little, a bit, pretty, really, completely.
And the size matters as much as the word does. I'm a bit tired and I'm completely exhausted are two very different messages. If you only ever say the small version, nobody knows when you actually need help. And if everything is the biggest version, people stop hearing you.
So you learn to be accurate. Small. I'm a little disappointed. Medium. I'm pretty frustrated, honestly. Large. I'm completely overwhelmed. And that last one can genuinely change your week because it tells the people who love you exactly where you are. So, listener, take your feeling and add a size to it. A little, pretty, or completely. Accuracy is a kindness to them and to you.
Now, the fifth thing. And this is the brave part, made small. Start small and choose who.
Yes, because people here talk about your feelings and imagine some enormous, tearful conversation where you explain your entire life. And that's terrifying, so they never start. But it was never meant to be that. It's one sentence. One true sentence to one safe person.
And safe person is doing real work in that sentence. You don't owe your feelings to everybody. Some people just aren't good with them, and that's a fact about them, not about you. So you choose someone who's been gentle with you before. And you go a little way, not the whole way.
And you can even say the awkwardness out loud, which honestly makes it easier. I'm not very good at this, but I've been finding things a bit hard lately. That's the whole brave thing. Most of the fear lives in the first sentence. After that, it gets much easier. So, listener, think of one safe person and one true sentence you could say to them this week. You don't have to explain everything. You just have to start.
And one true sentence is exactly where your story lands, isn't it? Those months.
Those months. It's time.
The sentence your friend gave you. Go on.
So, there was a stretch a few years ago where things were genuinely hard. Nothing dramatic from the outside, just heavy. And people would ask how I was, and I'd say, yeah, fine, busy. And I want to be clear, Alex, I wasn't lying to keep a secret. I said fine because I truly did not know what else to say.
The words weren't there.
The words weren't there. Someone would ask, what's wrong? And I'd open my mouth and find nothing. Because to answer properly, I'd have had to explain the whole thing. Where it started, why it mattered, why I was still upset about something that sounded so small out loud. And that felt like far too much to hand somebody over a cup of tea.
So it was easier to say nothing.
So much easier. And that went on for months. And here's what I didn't see at the time. Every time I said fine, I was pushing people a little further away. Not on purpose, but they'd ask, I'd close the door, and after a while, people stopped knocking.
And then one friend didn't stop.
One friend didn't stop. One afternoon, she asked how I was, and I gave her the, yeah, fine, busy, and she just looked at me. And then she said the thing I have never forgotten. She said, you don't have to explain it. Just tell me one true sentence.
Oh, that's a good sentence.
It undid me a little, honestly, because suddenly it wasn't this enormous, impossible task. She wasn't asking for the whole story, the beginning, the middle, the reasons, the justification. One sentence. And I could manage one sentence.
And what did you say?
I said, I'm really tired and I don't totally know why. And that's it, Alex. That's all I said. It wasn't poetic. It didn't explain anything. It barely scratched the surface. And she just said, okay, that's enough. Thank you for telling me. And then she sat with me, and something in my chest let go for the first time in months.
Because you didn't have to have it all worked out first.
That was the whole thing. I'd been waiting until I could explain it properly, until I had the right words in the right order, the version that would make sense to somebody. And that day was never going to come. Meanwhile, I was completely alone with it. And it turned out, nobody ever needed the explanation. They just needed one true sentence, so they knew where I was.
And is that what you do now?
That's my whole rule now. When someone asks and I feel myself reaching for fine, I stop and I give one true sentence instead. Honestly, it's been a heavy week. I'm pretty overwhelmed at the moment. That's all. And it has changed my friendships more than anything else I've ever learned. Because you cannot be close to somebody who is always fine. So, you don't have to explain it. Just tell them one true sentence.
One true sentence. Should we look at the words from today?
Let's do it. Our vocabulary corner, meaning first, then a few real examples. First, overwhelmed. When there's too much for you to handle and it's all on top of you at once.
For example, I'm completely overwhelmed. She felt overwhelmed at work. And it's okay to say you're overwhelmed.
Next, frustrated. Annoyed because something isn't working or you can't do what you want.
For example, I'm so frustrated with this. He got frustrated and gave up. And I feel frustrated when nobody listens.
Then, to bottle something up. To keep a feeling inside instead of saying it.
For example, don't bottle it up. I bottled it up for months, and bottling things up never really works.
Next, to get something off your chest. To finally say a thing you've been holding in.
For example, I needed to get it off my chest. Get it off your chest. You'll feel better. And That's been on my chest for weeks.
Then, relieved. That light feeling after a worry lifts.
For example, I felt so relieved. She was relieved to hear it. And I'm relieved I finally said it.
And one more, to put something into words. To find the language for something you feel.
For example, I can't put it into words. It's hard to put into words. And she finally put it into words.
And if any of those went by quickly, no worries. Play this part again and try one sentence of your own with a word you liked. So, let's pull it all together. Talking about your feelings in English comes down to 5 things.
1. Upgrade fine to a more precise word. 2. Use the frame, I feel blank because blank. 3. When the word isn't there, describe your body. 4. Say the size of the feeling, a little, pretty, or completely. And 5. Start small and choose one safe person.
And the big one from my friend and her one sentence. You don't have to explain it. You don't need the right words in the right order. You just need one true sentence, so the people who care about you know where you are.
And here's how to make it stick. Don't try all 5. Just take the first one. Upgrade fine. The next time someone asks how you are, give them one more precise word instead. That single swap opens every door after it.
And come tell us in the comments, how are you actually doing today? One true sentence in English. That's your practice. And honestly, it might be the bravest thing you do all day.
We read every single one.
And if this one helped you, a like, a subscribe, or sharing it with someone who always says they're fine means the world to us. It's genuinely how more learners find us.
And thank you for spending this time with us. And notice, you just followed this whole conversation in English, right to the end. That was real practice. Feel good about that.
And there'll be a new conversation waiting for you here soon. So, until then, keep going, keep speaking, and go easy on yourself. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. See you in the next one. Bye for now.